Annie's on drugs, guys. Please. The bitch is not going crazy because she sat there and lived her life for a man.
Now, Idibia has become a mockery. Yes, yes, because they are making a mockery of Idibia. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Princess Vanigo, and you are welcome to Vanigo's TV. Yes, we're talking Idibia of Young, Famous, and African. That is a reality show that has been aired on Netflix. I have seen people coming out to react on Idibia, especially because of the way she has been shaking her head and gesticulating, especially with her head. And people are saying stuff like Idibia is on drugs.
Excuse me, why is Annie constantly jittery on Young, Famous, and African? She's like, why did you shrug your shoulder?
Cause they my shoulders. I don't know how to answer these questions. I don't know what y'all got going on.
And they're saying she's on that she's taking drugs. Okay, a lot of people are saying that on social media. As if not, why is she shaking that way? I'm going to try and put clips of the way people were gesticulating, the way Annie was behaving, and that has given people the right to give different opinions about her. Now, before we go into the opinions that people have said concerning Idibia, there are also people that are out there defending her, like, Maraji, who made a video and also went to an Instagram and said, if you, that people are just judging Annie and it's not fair to her. Some people have the mindset that this is a show that is scripted. But before we even get into all that, let's go watch what people actually thought about Annie and the way she was behaving on the show Young, Famous, and African. And I'll be back.
Annie's on drugs, guys. Please. The bitch is not going crazy because she sat there and lived her life for a man. No person makes you that crazy, please. Unless you're already that crazy. Other than that, the bitch is on drugs. It's clear as day the bitch is addicted to some drug. Like, I don't know what's up with the African community dismissing the simple fact that fellow Africans be crackheads. But the bitch is a crackhead and her husband is a supplier. It's very obvious, it's clear as day. The man moves like big head honcho drug dealer. He moves like it. That is not the same you, my African queen man we saw 15, 20 years ago. Please. That man moved like head honcho. It's a video on YouTube of Annie's brother exposing the simple fact that he and Two-Face introduced him to drugs. Like, I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. The bitch is on drugs. It's just that simple. And please.
Is Annie on something? Is she withdrawing from something that we don't know about? Because her behavior is saying that there is something going on. Now, I don't want to be that type of person, but why aren't we asking these questions? Are we sure this woman is okay? Like, yes, we can give her grace because that relationship has taken her through the trenches and it could have affected her mentally. But this behavior, this Annie, it's like someone else is wearing her skin. It's like someone is wearing her skin and there's a lot we don't know that's going on. Now, it could be a disease, it could be something. I don't want to be insensitive, but what exactly is going on, Annie? Is it a substance you're on? Is it a substance you've been on just to tolerate being married to that man who embarrasses you left, right, and center, that you're withdrawing from and it's causing all this? Because, sweetie, something is wrong. That's not you. That's not you. Something's off.
For those of you who don't understand what is happening to Annie Idibia, this is a clear case of the body keeping score of all the trauma that she has gone through. Annie, sis, they have you out here looking like a crackhead. I'm not going to lie to you. You're really looking like a crackhead in this season of Young, Famous, and African. You have too much trauma. You've been through too much trauma that you did not process. You need to go see somebody. Take a season off and go see somebody. You need, listen, the anger that you have directed towards Swanky is so misplaced, that anger should be directed towards a certain person in your life, and you know who it is. It has you out here, this anger, because it is unresolved, because this trauma is unresolved, it has you out here lashing out at the wrong people. The apology you are looking for, it must come from somebody, not from Swanky, not from Zari, not from anybody else. Your anger is misplaced because you haven't processed what you have gone through. And I'm sorry you've gone through this when you were very, very young. The trauma and the pain you have gone through is too much for one person, and your body has kept score, and now your body cannot keep it any longer. Annie, you are shaking and withering, or whatever they call it, like a crackhead. Look at your fashions this season. It's all off. Everything about you is off. Annie, something is not right. Please go and see somebody.
I want to believe this Young, Rich and Famous show showing on Netflix is actually scripted, because but not be waiting even bring me here. What actually caught my attention more is Annie Idibia, that's Two-Face's wife, right? Because I had to watch last season and compare with this season. There's something not just right about that lady, right? Because the twitching, the fidgeting, like she cannot just make a statement like calm, like she can hold the conversation. Now you start a big conversation, like you just start the quarrel and end up being a victim. Like she's not really articulated. I feel there is more she needs to say, there is more she has to say, but she cannot really just express it. And not even that, it's not, I don't know if it's normal. I don't know. I thought I was actually alone thinking that is not normal until I read comment sections of people. And I saw in a comment section where somebody actually said a brother came out allegedly to say she initiated him to taking cocaine, to taking it. Allegedly, because myself I don't did it, right? And he also came out to debunk the news. But then I think you won't just come out, your brother won't just come out and say stuff just to tarnish your image. But maybe we'll mind our business. But is this I don't know if this is normal.
Famous and African, all of you people bashing Annie Idibia's role on Rich, Famous and African, like wait till they want to wanna drink. Some of you are even bashing Inyedo about her role on Rich, Famous and African, that she did not make people proud enough, she was being bossy. Inyedo was making as if she's so big. If she's so big, she should not be on this show for 2025. They go tell when I say something like reality show. When I go just carry on, I hate you guys just believe that everything about Rich, Famous and African is reality. Hey, God. Let's say it's 70% scripted and 30% reality. If Annie Idibia did not give that role, there would be no drama. And if there is no drama, people would not have watched that show. At the end of the day, they want to make their money. They have paid these celebrities a whole lot of money. They have invested. People want drama, so they have to give you drama. And the best character, the best cast that can really give that drama that will be entertaining, we know, is Annie Idibia, and she will be giving the basketballs with Zari. They cannot give Annie Idibia and Inedu to give the basketballs. They're just from Nigeria. You should understand that Rich, Famous and African is like an African reality show that's trying to capture the audience in the whole of Africa, not in a particular country. So Annie Idibia coming from Nigeria, which is so much population, and Zari being famous, being rich, and so on, they use it. So you think, say, Annie Idibia will go the gossip about Zari husband and that to same people, wait, no, say they go see go talk the same thing. Haba. You guys have to understand that most reality shows are scripted. They need to make drama. That drama is what triggers you to go and watch. That is what caused that buzz. But see what that drama, that's why you notice they cut all those scenes of the drama, and so when people put it on TikTok, on this, it like it gives you the Z. You just want to watch, you just want to see how. So you think that's Annie's personality. Annie wants to come on camera and behave that she's a gossiper, she's just all of no. Without that, the rich, famous, and African would have been boring. They had to. Do you think that's what Zari wanted for her wedding? Oh no. Zari would have done maybe something, even though it's a private wedding, it would have been something different with others there. But they paid her a certain amount of money to bring Zari's wedding there in the show. Because when they bring when I hit on her head, put sense inside. When only for the fact that Zari's wedding is seen nowhere else but only on this show, everyone wants to watch it. Oh, Zari's fans, Zari's haters don't want to watch her wedding, and those are the things that cause buzz, that makes the show goes viral. When I keep Annie Idibia one side, she's a sweet soul. For those that know her personally, she's a sweet soul. What you see on camera is the role they paid her for, and at the end, she wants to secure the bag. Now she wants to secure the bag. She has secured the bag. That's it. So you think she was talking about all those things in the wedding when she knows the camera is capturing her, everything is being heard. I beg you, when I not just the reason where. That's just a show. Enjoy it. Stop dragging Annie Idibia here, left here. I think she's on something. I think so for one 100% reality.
Y'all didn't hear me last time, so I'm going to be very clear when I say this. Make this Annie's last season. Make it her last season. Make it her last season. Make it her last season. It should be no reason at any point in time, any light year, any dimension, any form of time should Annie talk about anybody's marriage, talk about anybody's wedding, talk about any type of union when she's with Innocent. Annie, grip life like this. Get the reality, hold it like this, and put it in your head, because don't piss me off.
Annie's on drugs, guys. Please. The bitch is not going crazy because she sat there and lived her life for a man. No person makes you that crazy, please, unless you're already that crazy. Other than that, the bitch is on drugs. It's clear as day the bitch is addicted to some drug. Like, I don't know what's up with the African community dismissing the simple fact that fellow Africans be crackheads. But the bitch is a crackhead and her husband is a supplier. It's very obvious, it's clear as day. The man moves like big head honcho drug dealer. He moves like it. That is not the same you, my African queen man we saw 15, 20 years ago. Please. That man moved like head honcho. It's a video on YouTube of Annie's brother exposing the simple fact that he and Two-Face introduced him to drugs. Like, I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. The bitch is on drugs. It's just that simple. And please.
Young, famous, and African unpopular opinion. So I'm watching it slowly. I know some of you have watched it to the end. I've just got to the end of episode 3. Now hear me out, yeah? I know that Annie has said some problematic things, but a part of me feels like she's being defensive. I feel like she's lost trust. She's been through a lot. And so rather than showing her vulnerable side and letting people know how she feels and sharing what she's been through and, you know, just being vulnerable with her friends, what she's done instead is she sees it as the whole world is against her. So like, that's what's making her come across like a bitch. When she had the conversation with Naked and she was like, yeah, you know, I was pregnant with twins, I lost my babies, and I didn't feel like I could tell anyone about it. It made me feel sad. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I feel like Annie should be confronted when she does mad things, I do feel that they ganged up on her at Kaylee's dinner. Now that we know that she went through a miscarriage of twins, her madness, not that it makes sense, but I kind of see why she seems unstable. But where I draw the line with Annie, if I'm going to be honest, and this is why I'm conflicted, she's obviously not the only one that's going through things on the show. Nadia is also, you know, dealing with the loss of the love of her life. That can't be easy. But the difference is Nadia has been vulnerable. Nadia has shown a softer side so people can empathize with her. I do think that Zari punched below the belt. All she said was, your husband is young. She questioned his intentions with you. But for you to turn around and talk about Annie's husband, that was low. That was too low. And I like Zari, but come on now, sis, it's too much. I've never been one to take sides with celebrities or people on TV, if I'm going to be very honest. I'm pretty much the type of person to be like, no one is perfect and everybody can do wrong. And I feel that with Annie, where she's made a big mistake is she talks too much. There's certain opinions you can have, but you keep them inside. Her thoughts about Zari's husband. She's only saying the things that a lot of people are thinking, but it should never have come out her mouth at the wedding. When she met up with Fantana and was bitching about Swanky and Nadia to her, she should have addressed Swanky directly about her concerns with Swanky, and she should have addressed her concerns about Nadia to Nadia directly in the right setting, not at the wedding, not at an event. She could have just called them to lunch individually and had her conversation with them and left it as that, rather than talking about them behind their back to Fantana of all people. I feel like Annie's forgotten that the show is filmed. At Kaylee's event, she called Fantana a liar. She said that Fantana said a big lie and Swanky just sat there and listened to it. No, sis, it's on film. Episode 1, we saw you say exactly the things that Fantana told Swanky that you said. You said that stuff. So stand in it. And because of that, I do think that Swanky is telling the truth. She probably did chat shit about him on that call and he heard it. And now she's forgotten that she said what she said because, you know, Annie runs her mouth. And all of a sudden, it's he's lying about me. Prove it, play the voice note. First of all, sis, it's not a voice note. He heard you on a call. I'm on the fence with Annie. I get it. She's been through a lot, but at the same time, she doesn't help herself. And because she doesn't help herself, I can't stand 100% behind her. Anyway, I'm going to carry on watching the rest of the show and I'll probably drip feed the rest of my opinions as I get through it.
There has been a lot of speculations about Annie Idibia, on young, famous, and African. Some people are attributing it to maybe substance use disorder. Some people are attributing it to being in a terrible marriage. As a therapist, I cannot diagnose somebody based off a reality show. There is more that goes into an assessment than just seeing a person and saying this is what it is. The mannerism that we see Annie portray, the causes can be a varied thing. Sometimes it can be side effect of a medication. Sometimes it can be human biology. There are people who shake, right? There are people that's part of their mannerism. Sometimes it could be anxiety. Some people, that's how anxiety manifests for them, where they fidget a lot, they move around a lot. So it can be that. Sometimes it can be trauma responses. It can be as a result of hypervigilance. Sometimes it can be a result of low self-confidence, low self-esteem, when people are not really comfortable in their body. Sometimes it can manifest as that way. And then sometimes it can be substance use disorder. So currently either using or withdrawing. Some people, withdrawals are actually deadly than using. Of course, people may have their theory, but we cannot just look at Annie and say this is what's going on specifically. Of course, there is something going on. Me as a therapist, seeing her, there is a concern that what is going on with her, but I cannot definitely say, oh, this is what's going on with her. Annie definitely needs to sit down with a therapist or with a medical professional. And if it's substances, there need to be like a toxicology, or she has to say what is going on with her. Above all, I am wishing Annie peace. I am wishing her love. I am wishing her healing. Whatever it is that is going on with her, I hope she gets the support that she needs. And I hope this is also a lesson for all of us watching as Africans, that we take mental health serious in our African community. We take substance use disorder very serious. It is not something to be played with. It's not something that we can say, oh, Africans don't struggle with substance use disorder, or Africans don't struggle with mental health issues, because when we do that, we dismiss the effect of it in our community, and as a result, people may not get the care that they need. Let me know your thoughts on season 3 of Young, Famous, and African so far.
So what were your thoughts concerning all the things they had to say concerning Annie? Now, I don't know if Annie is truly on anything, but I mean, those people, they are celebrities, and sometimes, they tend to, do this kind of things, right? They tend to be on certain things like that. But I'm not going to come here and judge Annie. Even Laura Ikeji came out to defend Annie. As a matter of fact, people are saying that Laura is the only one who has outrightly come out to defend Annie. But it's not just Laura at this point, because even Maraji had something to say. She made a video giving her thoughts concerning the entire thing, and went on Instagram also. I mean, at the end of the day, celebrities are going to be celebrities, but also people need to note that this is a reality show and they want people to talk. They want people to watch it. They want to hold you by your lyrics that you are glued. There's something you're coming back to see. Why is she acting like that? Why is she doing that way? That is all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. It is a reality show, which means scripting the day also. And I want to believe that there's a little bit of scripting going on. Now, I don't know if Annie is going through anything, but just before the show even aired, there were already speculations that, Annie was acting weird and like she was on, DRGS, and she went to a party and she was just acting offish and, some type of way. I mean, at the end of the day, we would never know. Or, I mean, a little bit might just feel it and we'll know. What are your thoughts concerning all of this? Did you watch the show? What were your thoughts concerning Annie as a character? Do you think she's acting weird or like someone who is on, something? Leave your thoughts with me in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.